Ever feel like buying a home is like trying to learn a whole new language? You hear all these words thrown around, equity, mortgage, HELOC, and it can be pretty confusing. Well, in this explainer, we're going to translate all of it for you. We'll break down the financial tools that make owning a home possible, and then we'll get real about the biggest things standing in the way for so many people today: debt. Let's dive in. It's the big dream, right? A huge milestone, a major life goal for so many of us. But where do you even begin? That simple question can feel incredibly overwhelming, and honestly, that's exactly what we're here to unpack.
Okay, so before you start dreaming about paint colors and planning that housewarming party, there's one financial tool you absolutely have to understand. For most people, this is the literal key that unlocks the front door.
I mean, let's be real for a second. Very few of us have hundreds of thousands of dollars just sitting in a bank account. That massive price tag is the biggest wall to climb. So let's talk about the single most important tool for getting over it.
We've all heard the word a million times, but what is a mortgage, really? It's so much more than just another bill you pay every month. It's the financial engine that makes buying a home possible in the first place.
At its very core, a mortgage is just a special kind of loan for buying property. A lender gives you a huge chunk of money, and in return, the house itself acts as the guarantee, or what the banks call collateral. That's what makes it a secured loan. It's literally secured by the very thing you're buying.
And getting one isn't like just asking for it. There's a whole process. You apply, you have to prove you meet all the financial requirements, and then you go through this super intense review called underwriting. That's where the lender, really dives deep into your finances. If everything looks good, you sign a mountain of papers at closing. It's a serious process, and it's all designed to make sure you can actually handle the loan.
And this brings us right back to that idea of collateral. It's the big what if. So what happens if a borrower stops making their payments? Well, the lender can start what's called a foreclosure. That means they can actually take possession of the property to get their money back. It's the bank's safety net for taking on such a massive risk.
Okay, so you've got the mortgage, you're in your home, you're paying your bills. Now what? Well, this is where things get really interesting. Your home can go from being just a place to live to a financial asset you can actually use. And that brings us to this thing called a HELOC. It stands for Home Equity Line of Credit. You see, as you pay down your mortgage and, fingers crossed, your home's value goes up, you build this valuable thing called equity. A HELOC is basically a way to borrow money using that equity you've built up.
Honestly, the simplest way to get your head around a HELOC is just to think of it like a credit card that's tied to your house. It's a revolving line of credit you can draw from when you need it. Maybe for a big kitchen remodel or to pay off some other debts, and then you pay it back over time, just like a credit card.
And this slide really nails the difference. A mortgage is that one-time giant lump sum of cash you get to buy the house. A HELOC, on the other hand, is a flexible line of credit you use to borrow against the value you already have in your home. Two totally different tools for two totally different jobs.
Okay, that word, equity. We've thrown it around a lot, and for good reason. It is the absolute magic ingredient in all of this. Equity is what turns your house from just a money pit into a seriously valuable asset. So let's break down exactly what it is.
So, simply put, equity is the part of your house that you truly own. It's just the current market value of your home minus whatever you still owe the bank. And hey, this concept applies to way more than just houses.
Let's use a car to make this crystal clear. Say your car is worth $25,000, but you still have a $10,000 loan on it. Well, your equity, the part you own free and clear, is $15,000. It's really that simple.
All right, you got it? It's the exact same principle. We're just going to add a couple more zeros. Let's see how this works when we're talking about a home.
First, you start with the current market value of your house. Let's just say it gets appraised today at $400,000.
Next, you subtract what you still owe your lender. So in this scenario, you've still got a mortgage balance of $300,000. And that's it. The difference is your home equity. In this example, you have $100,000 of value that you could potentially borrow against with something like a HELOC. That, right there, is the power of building equity.
Now, let's bring all this back down to earth for a second. Because for a lot of people today, the journey to even start building that equity is harder than ever before. And it's because of a huge obstacle that comes way before the mortgage.
The dream of owning a home often runs smack into the hard reality of other bills you have to pay. This existing debt feels like a chain holding you down, making it almost impossible to even get approved for a mortgage in the first place.
And I bet you can guess what we're talking about, right? It's the usual suspects: crushing student loans, high-interest credit card debt,
car payments, all of these debts eat up your monthly income and can make a mortgage lender really, really nervous.
Now, stop and listen to this, because this projection from our source material is, wow, it's truly staggering. The student loan crisis isn't just about education anymore. It's a housing crisis. It's fundamentally changing the financial future for an entire generation.
So what you end up with is this kind of perfect storm. You have potential home buyers who have more debt than ever before, and they're trying to buy a house just as interest rates are making it more expensive to borrow money. That combination can make an affordable monthly payment feel completely out of reach.
And all of this leaves us with a really critical question. When you're staring down multiple debts, but you're still dreaming of owning a home, figuring out which one to attack first isn't just a math problem. It's the first real step on that path to building your own equity. So what's the first move you'd make?